Hello everybody and welcome to a Scientific Accelerator episode 4 anime review. We're making good pace. I remember this part happening way later, but I feel like I might be misremembering. Also, I feel like I'm actually understanding the plot this time, because when I first watched it, I was under the impression there was just one group of bad guys, but now it seems like there's like your DA, and then you got the Scavenger, then you got the Team Accelerator, you know? There's multiple anti-skill as well as multiple more groups now. I think I'm getting the plot better in the anime. I don't know, I'm not going to say the anime might be better than the manga, but so far I'm actually feeling like it might be. Maybe that's just me misremembering the manga, maybe I'm just, not remembering things right. But I'm enjoying it, which I was not expecting to excessively enjoy it. I mean, I was expecting to enjoy it, but I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would be. Also, I'll mention it now because it's not too relevant to the episode, the opening's changed slightly. There's like brighter coloured bits now and actually shows the characters. Weird thing to change if I'm being honest. I don't remember what it looked like before. I have to look at one of them comparison videos that those other people on the YouTube make all the time. They're pretty helpful. But yeah, the bit that I want to be changed is still the same. There's too much in the middle where the chorus is, where there's not enough animation on the screen, and I want more to be happening there. That's basically all I got to say on the opening and the change and all that. But anyway, let's get on with the actual episode now. Let's do this thing. So we pick up right where we left off last week with them two guys attacking Team Accelerator, which is just Accelerator and Esther at this point. Then that corpse gets up. I've forgotten her name still. They never said it once this episode, unless they did, in which case, I'm sorry. But yeah, she's up. She takes out the attackers a little bit, but then one of them is like, gun. But then Accelerator saves her. He jumps in front of her. It's like, pchong, pchong. That's the reflection noise. That's not what it sounds like, but that's what I'm going to say it sounds like. He's like, watch who you're calling a monster, because this is what a real monster looks like. Like that. That's exactly how he did it. I can't do his face. It was way cooler than I make it out to be. But yeah, Accelerator crushes the guy and makes him faint before he can rotate his blood pressure or whatever else he wanted to do to him. Crazy. He wouldn't have actually done it because this Accelerator is like a nicer guy. He might have done it. I don't know what I'm saying. He might have done it actually. The other guy gets scared and he's like, please don't kill me. But then Accelerator gets all dizzy because his wound is open. I thought his battery had turned off, but no, his wound is opened again. And the guy makes an explosion, causes a cave-in to happen on all of them, and then runs away. The corpse, I feel bad calling her the corpse, but I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry. She protects them, both Accelerator and Esther, but Accelerator's knocked out because of his wound or whatever. And then Esther calls him Sensei, which is like, okay, I need the correlation here. You're a magic lady and he's a science guy. You're kind of nice and he's sort of a dick. Like, he's a cool dick, but he's still kind of a dick. How is he your Sensei? I mean, obviously, maybe she was embarrassed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how anime works. What do you take me for? Hey, remember that guy that just escaped? Well, yeah, because it was 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes ago. A little bit ago. He tries to escape. He pushes over. He was about to run over some kid in a wheelchair. Let's not do that. But she gets saved by a Misaka. I don't know. They say that. I think it was 4-2. 10042. If that's right. I haven't wrote this in my notes. So if that's right, I deserve a medal for remembering. But then there's a little bit of a scrap between them, but then she gets taken hostage by the guy, and they escape in a getaway vehicle. Anti-skill investigate the tracks of that vehicle, and they're like, this was definitely an anti-skill weapon, what's going up? Accelerator's getting fixed by the doctor, and then we get some cameo from Uiharu and Sutton. I forgot they showed up. I think they are in the manga as well, I have vague memory of that, but I forgot it happened. So yeah, they're there, they're talking about an urban legend of it's like a subway train that never stops moving, which begs the question, how do you get onto it in the first place? So it never stops. It needs to refuel? Maybe it's electric powered. It's underground though. It's not solar powered, it's electric powered. What am I talking about? But how would you get on? Teleport? You could teleport, but it's always moving. I don't know. That's a lore question that I'm not willing to. People probably, if you know how they got on that constantly moving train, unless it does actually stop and it is just an exaggerated rumor, let me know the answer to that because I'm genuinely curious. But then there's a big wig on it, a big old Academy City Board of Directors guy talking. He's communicating with that dude with the lollipop. As you can tell, don't remember everyone's name. There's a lot of characters in this series. And by this series, I'm not even just talking about this Accelerator series. I mean, as a whole, it's hard to remember. But yeah, communicating with that lollipop dude, and they're talking about how DA has gone too far, so they're after DA as well now. So they're like not good guys, but they're not bad guys either. They're like in between. We're going to put this in very simple terms because you wouldn't really call Accelerator a good guy, although he is. I don't know. I'm putting things in black and white, and I shouldn't be. There's layers of grey everywhere. Then there's a scientist who releases 4 people. I believe they're like a team, you know, like group and item and that. Sort of, not exactly the same, but they're called Scavenger, I think. If they're not called Scavenger, my bad. That's what I'm calling them today, because that's what they seem to be called. They said Scavenger, and you know, I'm choosing to believe that's their team name. I don't remember what any of their powers are or anything. It's been a while, as I said, since I read the manga. After all that, Accelerator finally wakes up. He had a good old sleep. Last Order is there. After he woke up, he looks around. He's like, "There's Esther's clothes. Why are they there in his room?" I mean, it's because that's where she was. It doesn't matter. Last Order's there, and it's like, Misaka says this. And then she goes to get him coffee. There's a Misaka behind the thing. What do you call it? What do you call that? Partition? I guess it's a partition. She's like, "Hey, here's a letter from Esther." Then they talk about the writing. I'm going to assume this Misaka, having not remembered, I think it's the one that has emotions, because she talks about trying to get a boy to like her, and I think it's just that Misaka that does it, unless I'm wrong. It's like 1990? I think that's the Misaka that has emotions. I don't remember. It's been a while since I browsed the wiki, because that's the only way you know any of this stuff. That's not true. People know stuff. But yeah, she basically tells him, "Hey, the civilian that got captured is the Misaka. You know, the Misaka that the dude took, the DA guy took." Then Yoshikawa rings him and is like, "Here's all the stuff found out about a DA. I'm not going to go over all that. You watched the episode. You saw the same thing I did." Then we go to DA themselves discussing about the board directors going against them, and they're like, "We can take them. Phew, justice, yeah." That's how DA people talk. Then the Lollipops guy's like, "Hey, can I have the Misaka, please?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay." So Lollipop guy wants the Misaka. I'm confused about him. Lollipop guy is still talking to DA, but is he sort of working with the Academy City guy as well? I assume he's working for his own interests. He's kind of using as much people as he can. That's what I get the sense of from him. Then Yomikawa found out loads about DA. Finally, information's just started popping up. And it's like, okay, it's all the bad anti-skill people, basically. Then the explosion went off. As I said, there's a lot going on. Explosion goes off, and it's Scavenger who blew up one of DA's warehouses. And then one of them does a search thing. I assume it's sort of like AIM Stalker for Takitsubo. And finds out where DA are. So, it's sort of like AIM Stalker, but not for AIM, because they're not espers. Yeah, that's how that works. It just searches for people, basically. And then they find them. So I guess next week we might have them fighting DA, and then I guess maybe Esther will get caught up in it because Accelerator's still in hospital, and then he might show up towards the end and be like, "I'm cool, I'm here now to solve all your problems." That's what I think might happen next week. It's not a spoiler. I don't remember the manga at all. So, yeah, I think something like that will happen. I'm curious to know whereabouts we are at the manga, because it is going to be 12 episodes. I think the first arc is like 7 manga volumes, which sounds like, what? How are you going to cram 7 volumes into 12 episodes? Very easily, actually. For the Accelerator manga, it'll be very easy. If you're not aware, not only are the volumes quite small comparatively, a lot of that is took up with like multi-page like fights, like which in animation will take like seconds. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm not the most. There's people who know more than I do. Obviously, that's just how the internet works. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. As I said, the thing that Index as a whole, 2 hour or whatever, does either really well or really badly, depending on who you talk about, is they have a lot of characters. I think they do it really well, because they've got a lot of characters, but they don't feel the need to like shove them all into everything, if you know what I mean. Like, there are a lot of shows that they have their cast and they shove them all into an incident where they shouldn't be there. They're just ham-fisted in. I like that in, this series as a whole, You know, you'll have stuff that like this character won't appear. They'll be off doing something else. You know, I like that. I like that there's multiple protagonists, which is a problem I found out that a lot of people had with Index Season 3, which was really weird. Reading comments on older things, they were like, hate that there's 3 protagonists. I'm like, I mean, that's not the problem. Problem is, that's not what we're here. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Accelerator. And yeah, it's not got the same problems as Index Season 3, which is good. The art style change is kind of weird, but it's fine. But anyway, enough about my rambling. Let's end this video. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and stuff if you're not already for more reviews. There's millions of them. Thank you everybody for watching. I will see you next week. And bye guys.